forth.
And so that's great. So people can just deal with the one subway stop. They don't have to go all over town.
That's right. We tried to sort of emulate the scenario of a summer festival where, like if you go to some of the larger, folk festivals out of town, you walk in the main gates and you've got 5 or 6 stages to choose from, and they're all going simultaneously, and you have a program and say, okay, I want to see this guy at 5 and this guy at 6. Well, there's literally 10,000 people will be walking around the Danforth with our schedule in hand and walking from club to club, seeing various artists.
That's amazing. Some of the best things get started just in the manner that you described, which is not thinking about them too much.
Yeah, thinking always gets in the way.
It gets us into trouble, doesn't it?
I try never to think.
And half of the things wouldn't ever be started up if there was too much thought.
Yeah, for sure.
Beforehand.
For sure. Thinking gets in the way of decision making, for sure. Yeah. That's my personal philosophy.
Yes.
So how can we do less thinking, Brian? How can we improve our lives?
You just react. Just
respond.
Just follow where life leads. It's hard to do, but if you can do that, I think you have a better life.
Just before we came on,
I know
you mentioned that you were one of those hippies, those crazy hippies.
Not
with all their
it's a lifestyle,
right.
It's a way of being.
And now,
it's a mentality.
But could we talk about that just for a little bit? Because actually, folk kind of comes out of that whole thing too. Were you around in the folk hippie days in Yorkville? What was it? The Yellow Door and all that kind of stuff.
I think the Yellow Door's in Montreal.
Oh, okay.
I remember that. Well, whatever it was. I grew up in the '60s. I think it was really the best time in the history of the planet to grow up. And at that point in time, I don't use the word folk music. I call it roots music. But that was mainstream music. People wrote about things that mattered. And if you think about it, that generation of music